One.
But nobody knew you were talking about the hat.
We're talking about Dolph Ziggler's hat on SmackDown. Jared said my tweet was stupid because nobody
just had no content.
Yes, it did. When I
You posted.
I
Who told Dolph Ziggler that was a good idea?
That hat was a good idea.
You didn't put hat.
Oh, yes, I did. I didn't?
I don't.
Yes, I did.
If you did, I'm sorry.
I definitely did. Hold on.
Are you going to check it?
Yeah. Who told Dolph that hat was a good idea?
Okay.
Okay, so was that a good tweet?
I mean,
yeah.
Was it a sombrero?
No, but it was a dumbass hat.
He likes trucker hats, don't he?
It's weird.
He's going to bring him back.
I got no likes on the tweet, though. So, let's delete it.
Step your game up, people.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Ash Show. This is definitely going to be very non-structured, kind of like a shoot the shit type vibe we have today for this episode. We're not going to really do a recap just because I feel like the build right now is just for Super Showdown or whatever.
It's not for us.
We don't care about that.
It's not for us.
I'm probably not even going to watch
that. It's for
that.
Saudi. It's for Prince. He wants to throw a big party, and he spent $1 billion to do it. It's not for us.
Yeah. So
it was like, hey, Vince, get that old bald guy from WCW.
Goldberg.
Maybe he asked for Stone Cold, and
God.
Vince is just like, he'll never know.
Oh my gosh. This is my co-host Jared. He's mad because I never introduced him.
I'm not mad about it, but I'll take that back. I'm a little pissed.
You're okay. Yeah, so I never introduced him, so this is Jared. Do you have a special intro this week?
No.
Okay, well.
And you butchered my good ones.
J-Rock. That was his in-ring name when we were growing up as kids, remember?
I did.
J-Rock.
My favorite part of when we were wrestlers was that I didn't have a finisher, that I could use any move as a finisher because I was that good.
Do you remember mine?
Did you do Twist of Fate?
Yes, but what was it called?
Oh, man. The Ash Blast?
No.
What was it?
The Ash Master.
The Ash Master. And then our cousin Jake had the machine kick.
The machine gun kick. Where he just like...
would lay on the ground and kick you repeatedly.
Furiously. Like, and his lips would like do that thing where he
you
that
could tell
mad.
he was mad.
Yeah. Alright, so what should we talk about first, Jared? You want to talk about like Raw? We're not going to recap anything. We're just
We can kind of go over some things on Raw that we liked and disliked, and I'll start.
Okay.
Because it starts with the first minute of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, correct me, Randy Orton was the lead, right?
Yeah.
So, Orton's music hits, they tell you about...
Alright, I guess we are recapping.
Well, I'm just going over this because it makes me mad. Not a minute into the show, they show a replay of Randy Orton attacking Matt Hardy.
Uh-huh.
So, that's your reward for watching last week. That's your reward for making sure you tune into the beginning this week. Hey, fuck off. Here's last week again. It just makes me so mad because, like, we're a minute into the show. Mm-hmm. You just welcomed me. And now you're already just wasting time. Now, granted, I understand that you want to talk about what he did, but they booked the show. They know that Hardy's about to come out. He'll explain it. You don't have to do this. It just wastes time. It's such filler, and it just makes me so mad.
That's the thing, though. It's 3 hours, so they have to do stupid shit like that. And, like, that's the type of shit that draws my attention away, and it kind of kills the vibe for me. But they have that third hour, and it sucks because it feels like it drags on and on and on and on.
I'd love to know, out of the 3-hour show they have, how much of it is somebody talking about last week, vignettes of something that happened in the past, or commercials.
And you know what's crazy? Like, they could have more feuds because they have a deep roster. They could, fill that time with another freaking storyline. But I don't know why they don't do that. And I'm just so sick of the 24/7 stuff,
It's just
the Mojo Rawley crap. I don't want to see that. I feel like that. I mean, R-Truth, yeah, he's funny and entertaining, but
That's a web show,
it's
though,
a comedy,
right?
yeah.
Like, put that on YouTube if I want to see it.
Right.
But I mean, I get that they have to do it because of how long it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I gripe at. But another thing, because you were talking about some of the side storylines, was that Aleister Black finally got a match with somebody with an entrance music.
Yes.
But
Eric Rowan.
And then the match, he wins clean, and like,
I was really actually thinking this was the week we were going to find out what's in the cage.
but why didn't we?
I know, because like he fought a credible opponent, Aleister
Like,
Black.
I know, like, why waste Eric Rowan to just eat a pin if we're not going anywhere with
Right.
the storyline? Either storyline, really. Nobody looked good here. Eric Rowan can go for a big dude. I like his work. But nobody got over, really.
I know.
Nobody's impressed with your win over a guy who's pretty lost to The Rock in 2 seconds at WrestleMania. And then ended with the same main event we've had for 8 weeks. Wash, repeat.
Right.
Like, literally, I feel like it's been a 3-way tag match between some form of the factions every week.
Oh, it has, because they feel like, because the whole storyline involves a lot of men, because it's the Viking Raiders, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, then you got the Disciples, you know.
Well, I get the Disciples and Rollins.
I know, but they're
can't-
making it an 8-man thing.
I no longer remember why Kevin Owens is angry at Seth Rollins.
Because Seth attacked him in the back of the, remember he was in the van?
Okay.
But why did he attack him? I forgot who.
Right. Like, that's how...
Because the crowd turned on him or something.
For a show that reminds you every 15 minutes of what happened in the past, they do not do anything to enhance these stories with that.
Samoa Joe is injured again, by the way. He got injured on a commercial set. He gets injured too much.
He's an older guy, and he's put himself through some stuff, man. His Ring of Honor work.
I feel like his run in WWE has not been all that great.
It's kind of been like everybody that they've got's run. Their NXT run solid, and then they come to the main card. And it just makes me feel like it's impossible to be a good wrestler in WWE's main card.
Yeah, then we all know Matt Hardy will be leaving. So, with that being said, do you think he'll go to AEW?
He says he's not done. If you're AEW, do you want him?
Yeah, because he could be the Dark Order guy.
You could go any route with the Dark Order guy right now.
You could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they'd pay him. I don't think Matt Hardy gets people tuned in to AEW that's not already... Like, I don't feel like you're flipping through the channels, you see Matt Hardy wrestling on a Wednesday night, and you're stopping.
Yeah, but that's like, when I think of Matt Hardy, honestly, just me, this is just me, I think this is a WWE guy. So, like, it's kind of weird to see a WWE guy on a new brand.
Right, and you don't want to make the same mistakes TNA made, where you're just getting all these guys as soon as WWE lets go of them just because, and then sticking them in whatever storyline just because.
But Hardy is a legend. Like,
yeah, I think if you hire him, like, that's what I'm saying, like, maybe you get him for a year, and you just say, like, we're gonna really do this one storyline, and don't, like, he's not a main event guy.
no.
I don't really care to see him in singles action. So you got to do it right. You got to have a plan if you get him. He's not like a Brody Lee, like Luke Harper, who, like, I feel like could be in main events by himself just straight up.
Is Luke Harper signing with AEW?
I would say it's pretty safe to assume that when his no compete is ran out.
What is that, you know?
I don't.
Oh.
Because it was shady when he was actually released, because WWE held on to him for so long, and then they had a part of his contract where they were like, because you were hurt, we're adding months.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, they knew. They straight up
They
knew.
know, yeah. So what else? Let's talk about probably the best storyline going on right now, and that's, I mean, you could say I'm biased, but let's be real, it is. The Becky and Shayna stuff. We had never covered when the biting of the neck, did we? We haven't done that yet. Okay, now that was a little excessive.
It just looked really bad.
Very fake.
That was it, straight up. Like when anybody, and it doesn't matter who it was, unless it was a 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
When you watched that, you went, oh.
They were just, I feel like they were trying to go for another iconic, like, photo. You know how Becky had the bloody nose with Nia Jax?
You can't create something like that.
It wasn't.
It just happens.
Right, exactly.
It just happens.
You can't plan that.
So, yeah, that got off. So did you see Baszler get on Twitter and was like, just watch Birds of Prey, and nobody was like standing in the theater saying how fake it looked.
Yeah, she's triggered.
Sweetie, that's apples and oranges.
She shouldn't have done that.
And that, to me, just was her being like emotional and showing you that that's a person that got into wrestling late. Because I feel like when you're on the road, you're humiliated a lot, and you do that for money. Like, I remember the guy who me and Jake worked with telling me when we were training, he was like, yeah, I had to be Frankenstein one time, and one time I had to let like a lady beat me up in the ring and all this stuff. So like you kind of get your chops going through the indies.
Yeah.
And she didn't get that necessarily because she was Ronda Rousey's buddy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was her showing that she didn't have that in her.
Well, I do like where the feud is going. I feel like what we've seen so far has been pretty good.
I mean, straight up, you're getting Becky and Shayna at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, straight. So we know Shayna will win the Chamber.
It's a done deal. Book it. I'll tell you the odds in a few weeks whenever they come out.
But yeah, I like that. And then also the other storyline that's been progressing pretty good is Rhea versus Charlotte. So Charlotte decided on her opponent, and she even showed up to Takeover Portland. So I thought that was cool.
Did you watch Takeover Portland?
No, but I heard it was very good.
Really, really good. Now, I can see if you're like a traditionalist or if you're kind of new to the game and like the kickouts bother you because there are a lot of false finishes.
Yeah.
So the internet hates that sometimes. It didn't bother me. And
I love false finishes.
Super shout out to the Portland crowd. I don't know if it's the altitude or like the recreational marijuana use, but they were into it the entire night.
Well, yeah, getting back to Charlotte and
Rhea.
Why do I want to say like Shea?
Oh,
Shayna?
Whose name is Shea?
I don't know. I was thinking of like Shay because Rhea is spelled like Shay with an S.
Maybe her name is just Ray.
I like the angle they're going with Charlotte and Rhea's feud, where Charlotte's mad about Rhea coming on her show and saying, you know, basically Charlotte is a veteran now. I consider Charlotte a veteran.
Yeah.
They're getting up there.
I mean, she got veteran status early because, like, of her skill.
Yeah.
Not because of her father. And
No.
even though that alone could do it to me.
Yeah. I give Charlotte her own
She's
credit.
kind of like Patrick Mahomes is a leader. He's only been in the league for 3 years, but his talent overtakes anything else that matters.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the angle they're going with. I think it's been really good and fun to watch. And
Yeah.
It's crazy that the two women, like the women on the show, have the best angles right now and the best builds.
Right. That's really one of the only reasons, like, I stick around. It's hard for me to finish a Raw.
Oh, I know.
Like, when the main event for the last, what seems like 5 weeks has essentially been the same thing. That
It has. They've been interchangeable.
I turn it off. I don't care what happens because it won't matter because next week it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
So why care?
Yep. Well, now I agree with you, but I don't want to discredit Seth and what he's been doing with
I'll give you that.
I feel
but
like
here's the deal, man. This is what I got to thinking about. So like the Nyla Rose thing, right? Mm-hmm. So
people might not know what you're talking about. Not everybody watches AEW.
So she's a trans woman. Okay? And it got the internet in a roar where everybody was fighting about whether or not that was okay. To me, it's fake. Who cares? It's not like that woman who was in MMA who was trans and was born a man beating women up and not telling them.
Like legitimately beating them.
Right. So to me, it's like, why are we doing this? Do you feel like at any other time in wrestling, if somebody had a character where they were essentially Jesus Christ, that it wouldn't get crazy heat and be an uproar?
I know.
But instead, I feel like people are so over this already. And I'm not saying Seth's character or the disciples and like his whole gimmick, but just like you're feeding them Kevin Owens. All right, you got fans like me who will never cheer for Kevin Owens because I don't trust his character. He'll always turn on you.
Right.
He'll turn on his best friends. Why wouldn't he turn on me? So that's not working for me. And you made that, so that's your fault. You got Samoa Joe, who, like you said, just hasn't turned the page since he's been in WWE. Maybe with Brock. I got into that Brock match. I don't know if you even remember
that's
it.
Very forgettable.
Right. So, and then the War Raiders, which, like, even if you like them...
Viking Raiders.
Even if you like them, are they over?
Don't care.
Right. And just because the crowd goes, whoo, sometimes
they're not
with them.
over. They're
right.
not over.
There's a difference between the crowd just mimicking what they see and that being over. So that, like, why would I root against the way more entertaining thing and cheer for the thing that's kind of obviously just thrown together because they're the good guys? I don't know.
I'm rooting for, like, I love the Seth and the AOP and then Murphy. By the way, he dropped Buddy. He's just Murphy.
No way.
You knew that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he's just Murphy now.
I wonder did they make it seem like there's a reason for it that Seth did it, or is this just Vince dropping people's names because he's an idiot?
I don't know. I think it's just Vince.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Buddy is like a soft name. Come on, Buddy. I like just Murphy.
I don't know. I've never let anything like that bother me.
Right. But no, getting like just back to the point, kind of wrapping up Seth's whole thing. But see, the thing is, like, but it has potential. It's not dead for me yet.
No.
They need to move on and wrap it up with Kevin Owens, and which I'm scared that's going to be his Mania opponent.
Yeah. What it seems like is they were like, we got a really good idea for Seth heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then they started it 6 weeks early.
Yeah.
And it was just like, well, what are we going to do until then?
It's been going on and on and on and on. But yeah, I do like Seth. I feel like he has reinvented himself as a heel. Because he does get crazy boos now. Dude,
his promos the last probably 2 weeks have been phenomenal.
Yes.
Him coming out and shaking hands like he's a minister has been so amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's killing it. He's acting like a cult leader that thinks he's Jesus. And it's not getting any kind of reaction.
I just think the audience is so PG now, they don't understand, or
maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, this audience should be like, this is sacrilege, bro. You can't be doing this. But instead, everybody's just like, oh, it's just a good time here. That's a great shirt.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's talk about my new favorite, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
How long before he drops McIntyre?
You're Drew now.
He's been having like a little program with MVP the past 2 weeks, but it's been working for me. Like, Drew is so good on the mic.
Yeah, he's solid.
The crowd is really cheering for him now.
Dude, he cut a heel promo against Jambalaya at Lafayette's house show. Remember that? I was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
That rice can't defend itself.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, this is another thing where I wish they would say, I wish Vince would have a writers meeting and say, okay, I don't know who's going to win yet, but what I need from y'all is what we're going to do with that person in February and March.
Yeah.
Because you can't do what they're doing right now up until Mania. It'll get old.
Well, Heyman came out last week.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You can't keep doing this little pity bullshit. But like, I wish they had a little, because it's always like this.
Yeah.
It's like you get super crunk at Rumble because you know what's going to happen, but they have so much to fill in.
Yeah. I feel like Mania should be in March.
Like the last week of March.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, last Sunday.
But
so how do you feel about your Bella Bunnies getting into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I was never a huge fan of the Bellas. They get a lot of fucking hate on the internet just because, like, everybody thinks they slipped their way to the top back in the early days and that Nikki was only in her position because of Cena. I mean, from where they started and to where they ended, they did improve a lot. And you could tell they had a passion for it.
Did they? Because wasn't Bree's last match literally a botch?
No, okay, you're right. They improved and then they left. And then when they came back, they had ring rust. But I mean, like, Bree had a huge program with Stephanie at SummerSlam. Remember that? That was a good program.
I think I remember it. And that match was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and then Nikki turned on Bree. But anyway, I mean, like, I don't think they deserve to go in the Hall of Fame right now. And the only reason they are going in is because of their show. Total Bella, to have a storyline, and that's how I feel. That's literally why. So
they're getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they're gonna record this
for their show.
In the future, you'll be able to watch this.
Right, which is affiliated with WWE.
So, Total Divas.
Total Bellas.
Total Divas, though. I'm asking another question. Do you think that the Rusev Bobby Lashley storyline will be on Total Divas?
They got Rusev and Lana got fired. They didn't get asked back for Total Divas.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So.
Well, that changes everything. Because what I was gonna say is, okay, well, let's say they weren't fired from the show.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd put that on?
I don't know, because that is breaking a pretty big fourth wall. I mean, I know, like, not everything is like it used to be, but that's still, I don't know.
So, it's breaking a fourth wall. You just said that WWE will do things for another show.
They will. They have in the past.
Do you think John Cena was really ever engaged?
They were really engaged, but he had a lot of fucking pressure on him.
I don't think any of that was true.
Are you serious?
I think it was all a work.
No.
I think it was all a work.
Not their relationship.
I think the whole thing was a work.
No.
I'm not kidding. I think I think Vince bought that ring. I think that's why we had the engagement. I think that's why the breakup was so, like, quick and hush. I think that all of it was fake. I don't think Brie and Nikki and Bella and Daniel lived in John Cena's house for a little while.
That was fake. I mean,
all of it was fake.
I don't think
the only thing that was real with that was Daniel Bryan and Brie.
I don't think Nikki and John's relationship was that.
I think it was totally fake.
And
if it was,
you're stupid. They were together like 5 years. You can't just fake that just for WWE.
If anybody could, you don't think it could be the fakest woman on the roster and the weirdest dude?
Yeah, but it's just, like, too personal.
Something to ponder over. Me personally, I think the whole thing was a work. I think it was all for a show.
I don't think that extreme. I think the proposal was for the show, and, like,
I think the whole thing was.
There's a lot of...
And if for whatever reason, that Rusev and Lana are on Total Divas next year and they do show the Bobby Lashley, this whole thing, I'll know for a fact that it was faked. Because that will show me that they will fake things for that show.
No, I know that, like it's starting to become to get viewers to Total Divas and Total Bellas. Now it's starting to affect Raw, like the storylines on Raw.
Yeah, like I don't care about those shows.
Which pisses me off.
Right. If I wanted to watch those shows, I will.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the people, they're not watching both.
No.
So quit ruining the one we watch because you're trying to get people to watch the one we don't want to watch.
Yeah. So that is why, bottom line, that is why the Bellas are going in the Hall of Fame before Christian.
Oh boy. So I
will sit on my soapbox every goddamn fucking year. Before before Molly Holly, and I know y'all's ears are probably, I'm screaming.
She's really mad.
Molly Holly deserves Victoria.
Well, Molly Holly's getting in this year, right?
No, they only knew one woman.
I thought I heard Molly Holly was getting in this year.
I did too, but then when they announced the Bellas, I was like, well, there goes Molly Holly. Maybe.
Well, yeah. And to me, a huge miss not having them for the Hollywood Hall of Fame. The Bellas.
The Bellas, yeah.
I think you absolutely have to give, well, and maybe it's because they're going to give Cena that next year. And they didn't want Cena and Bella.
They said The Rock.
The Rock's not in the Hall of Fame yet?
No, he's not.
Well, then, yeah. And I bet, I would say Cena too. Because Cena's about to be in this Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
So, and it's in Hollywood. He's the most Hollywood guy you've got on your payroll.
I just think the whole thing with Cena is so funny when he called out The Rock for going to Hollywood, and now he's like the new Rock.
Hey, kettle, meat pot.
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe it's that Ring camera down there.
Did it just turn on?
Maybe.
What the actual fuck? Okay, anyway. It's that guy Greg who's on the show, and I don't want to misquote him because he's a lawyer, but it was something like he felt that the Bellas were equally important to WWE as The Rock.
Okay.
And his take was that WWE is not a wrestling show, it's an entertainment show, and that the Bellas brought just as much entertainment value as The Rock did. I disagree.
That is the most awful take I've heard.
Well,
my entire life of living. Like,
well, there you go, Greg.
Seriously.
I disagree. I feel he was going heel
mode. Are you serious?
I feel like he's turning
Everybody
heel.
Fucking knows who The Rock is. Not everybody knows who Nikki Bella and Brie Bella is.
I would say not 20%. 25% of the people who know who The Rock is know who the Bellas are.
Anyways. Yeah. Enough about them. Speaking of Cena, he will be on SmackDown.
I thought you were about to say the podcast next week.
I can only dream. He will be on SmackDown. What do you think that's about? Is he gonna say he's gonna fight at Mania?
I really hope so.
Me too.
And God, if Jared from 10 years ago heard me now. But yeah, like I really hope he does, because I really, as strange as this sounds, I wanted The Undertaker and Cena to be like legit, and they gave it to us in like the weirdest way ever, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what I would do if I was told, hey, if I was a writer and they were like, hey, Cena's coming back, book a match. I'd be like, fuck, I don't know.
Who would you want Cena
like you got,
face?
It's gotta be big. It can't really interfere in anything we're doing already. Like, you can't just throw him in the title match.
You know who has a little bit of history with Cena is Elias.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't they have a little thing at Mania where...
He came out before The Undertaker and said, were you expecting somebody else?
Yeah. So that could work. And
Is that really what you're bringing John Cena back for?
They need to boost Elias.
Now that if they had him at a level where he should be,
Elias needs
I would agree with you.
Oh man,
but he's just not there.
Such a waste.
So like, I don't think that's happening.
Nakamura.
I don't think they think Nakamura is that big of a deal.
Well, he's not anymore.
Right. Maybe Roman. Like, you'd have to change everything.
Oh, that would be a huge...
Yeah, you'd have to change everything, but maybe Roman, because Cena can come out and cut
any
the easiest promo. Yeah, like, hey, you've never been able to do it on the big stage unless it was a 60-year-old man. So...
Have they fought before?
Surely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Surely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean... I'm not a Roman mark, but I rarely remember his matches.
I know.
They're always, to me, kind of like... And I'm not saying they're bad.
They're cut...
But even when they're good...
Cut and paste.
Right. I'm not, like, that into them. It's kind of like... I don't know. Kind of like how Shawn Michaels was toward the end of his career. Except for, like, the Flair match.
You know the rumor that I did hear?
What that?
Did I tell you this? The rumor is that AJ is gonna fight Undertaker at Mania. Now they have been this past week on Raw. AJ's new thing is that he's Mr. WrestleMania now. So, hey, that could be a thing with HBK.
Who wants that?
Me.
You want AJ versus Undertaker?
No, versus HBK.
Well, you just said Undertaker.
That's the rumor. I want.
Oh.
I mean, I don't even know how HBK would be.
No, I don't even care. HBK came back for one more match with AJ Styles, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he's 50, and he didn't have a good match after a 16-hour flight with two other 60-year-olds. AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels would be, pun intended, phenomenal.
There's a reason why they're doing AJ's new thing is marketing himself as Mr. WrestleMania.
Right.
So it's his opponent has to be a legend, I feel like.
Dude,
or an icon.
What about Cena and Michaels? If that was something that they could do.
Cena and Shawn Michaels? No.
Yeah.
What about Cena and AJ again?
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. That would be some good promos.
But it's not going to happen because Cena's going to SmackDown to do his promo. You're not going to call out AJ.
I know, you're right. What else?
But honestly, it's probably just Fox saying we need a ratings bump, and they called Cena and said, "Hey, we're in Boston. We need you." Okay, I'll be there. You can promote your Fast and the Furious movie. Okay, cool.
I doubt he'll wrestle.
What are we missing? Oh, happy 13th birthday to Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin's feud. It turned 13 years old today.
Wait, what did they do?
They're just still going at it.
What did Roman do on SmackDown? I watched, but I don't remember what he did.
Yeah, we were just talking about how Roman. that was yesterday.
Wait, I gotta think about this. Don't tell me. Okay, so we saw the Usos and the New Day against Miz and Morrison.
What's the opposite of a power move?
I don't know.
An Uso move. There is nothing.
Shut up! I like the Usos.
Dude, they should not have got their haircut together.
I
at
love
the same
the Usos
time.
and the New Day.
No, you cannot be twins that are almost 40 and get your haircuts together.
I'm sure they're like in their early 30s.
No, they're not. They've
Yes,
been They've been on WWE since like 2009 or 10.
No,
Dude.
no, 2014.
I swear they wrestled Chris Masters and Carlito.
They did not. Okay, we're about to Google this. This is one of
I will. I would like to know how long they've been in WWE because it feels like forever.
The Usos WWE debut. 2010?
I'm told you. They've been at it for a minute.
What?
I'm telling you, they're like 40 and they got their haircuts at the same time together. Look at their age.
34.
They're only 34?
Yes. 34. See, this is what I was saying. The New Day and the Usos are like the modern day, to me, like the modern day Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. Like that type feud.
The Freebirds.
You know, like that's their thing.
Any Express.
They both won the tag titles over 5 times each. They're like your main tag teams.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would disagree with you.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying. You were talking trash about the Usos.
No, you cannot be grown adults and go get your haircuts together.
You were talking trash about their move.
No, I said what? Because being 34 years old, having a brother, and getting the same haircut as him
they have to have the same look.
Is the opposite of a power move. Yeah, because Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy look so identical.
They're not identical twins.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to look the same.
Are identical twins.
The Basham brothers weren't even real brothers, so I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
You don't have to do that.
So, anyways, what else? I'm trying to rethink what Roman did last night. Don't tell me yet. And then we had Alexa. They had the Bellas on Moment of Bliss. They had Braun Strowman. The fucking destruction. The
fucking destruction.
What was it? The musical destruction match with Braun Strowman, Nakamura, Elias. I didn't even really pay attention.
Didn't like it.
Who was wrong?
Mandy, you really hurt my buddy Otis. He couldn't even come out of the hotel room today. What was up with Otis hiding behind some
weird.
Boxes? And like, what did Otis? What did you think was gonna happen, pal?
It's gotten really weird.
Did you think he was gonna fuck Mandy Rose, bro? You ain't fucking Mandy Rose, bro. Poor Odie. I just want him to worm again.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan fought Heath Slater.
Good. Well, I didn't even know Heath Slater had a brand, so that's good.
Roman wasn't even on last night.
And who else wasn't on last night?
I don't know.
Corbin.
Oh yeah.
They're continuing it.
Goldberg called out the Fiend.
Dude, why make the Fiend look weak
Stupid.
on Fox
I know.
for Goldberg's trip to Saudi Arabia?
Ugh.
I hate this showdown. I hate it.
Me too. I'm not watching
It's
it.
2 times a year where it's like...
You have to just sit through the build of this bullshit.
Right. Ugh.
Anyways, so that's about it for WWE.
Is there anything else? Bianca Blair calling out Flair.
Charlotte?
Yeah. She came out and did the Kanye West. It was like during a match. She just grabbed a mic, got in the ring, and said, "I'm going to let you finish." And then, like, cut a promo, and she was like, "I'm going to beat your ass, bitch."
To Charlotte?
Yeah, because
Why?
Charlotte got in her business.
Oh, I love Charlotte. I love Bianca Belair.
Oh, dude. During the takeover match, they were doing a spot, and she hit the hair whip spot on the top rope. And I don't know if they had a mic in that corner or if the camera just picked it up, but it sounded like 15 Ric Flair chops loaded into a gun.
That's awesome.
It sounded so good.
It's so different, the hair whip thing. It's so Mortal Kombat, you know?
Totally.
Did you want to talk about AEW?
Man, yeah. So
This is the part where you
guys,
log off.
if you hate AEW for any reason, it was great having this conversation with you, and we can't wait till next week. God bless. If you're still around, I thought AEW's hit on really high levels the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I thought it was the best show that they've had. This week, I was entertained the entire time. It reminded me of like the first week. I think they're doing a good job of making sure everybody in the roster is used but not crammed in every week. For example, Pac hadn't had a match in 2 weeks, and you know he's my dude. Mm-hmm. So part of me is a little, bummed about that, but they've been adding, every time Kenny Omega has a match, he gets on and reminds people that the next week they're having their 30-minute Iron Man match and everything. And he's just been cutting.
Is that this coming week?
Yeah. And he's been cutting killer promos, talking about all these things, and he ends it with like how he's a lucky bastard, and just, man, he's got the look. He's about to go up against probably the best talent he's gone up against since this is the rubber match. This is match 3 of this feud, and it's going on at their second pay-per-view since TNT. So I'm expecting a lot out of this Iron Man match.
Is that on Dynamite or Revolution?
Yeah, it's on Dynamite. Excuse me, not a pay-per-view, but on Dynamite. But you can tell like they're focusing the show around that match.
Yeah.
It's going to be the main event. It's going to be why you want to stick around. The one thing,
I have a question.
Hit me with it.
And I've been in and out with AEW. Like, I don't pay close attention. I didn't watch last week. But why is Pac doing a program with Kenny Omega when Omega is the tag team champion with Adam Page?
Right. So Adam Page and Kenny kind of got thrown together in this tag team thing. Won a tag team match that gave them the title match, which is why they are the tag team champions.
And I know they've kind of had...
Pac and Kenny's feud started at the very first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Pac beat Kenny.
Yeah.
Then Kenny beat Pac, and Pac has not been able to get over that. He feels like Kenny's the reason he's not the champion right now.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. And I feel like there's going to be a rift with Adam
that's
Page.
the thing. Like, people are, like, upset about some things about AEW, but, like, if you ask a question like that, I can probably give you a legitimate answer because they do such a good job of, like...
Yeah, story.
Now, I don't like that you have to watch YouTube and you have to watch Being the Elite and all that, but I've been entertained by it, and with having a 1-year-old, it beats watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So I'll watch it on my phone.
What does the kid watch?
I'm watching the internet on my phone. The kid's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Okay. So she gets the TV?
Yeah, of course. She's beautiful and spoiled. So, yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. But honestly, the only reason is because my TV doesn't hook up to my headphones.
There's always a catch.
But I feel like they've done a really good job. 2 weeks ago, if you have TNT's app, you should go watch Dynamite from 2 weeks ago. I seriously was like...
I did watch it 2 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't watch this past week.
So like the announcement of Jeff Cobb was a super surprise to me, and I popped real hard for that. I thought it was the best women's match they had yet.
Nyla Rose and Rio, that really surprised me.
Thought it was the best women's match they've had yet.
That match was really good.
You had the Ortiz and Moxley eye for an eye, which was fine. Yeah. And like the ending got a huge pop with Moxley going into the crowd and everything. Darby Allin got a huge pop.
He gets a huge pop every week.
It's kind of strange, isn't it?
He is so over.
He really is. But I don't know, man. I've really enjoyed it.
I wish we can't get Revolution, but we will be talking about it, I'm sure. I
might get it.
I mean, I'm sure it would be worth it. Yeah. It's going to be good.
So just to run over the card, and here we go again with like, I like being surprised. So there's only 4 matches booked, advertised. But the 4 are so strong that you're going to watch it. And I feel like they're going to add more, and whatever they add is going to be solid.
Yeah.
Like, those are going to be crowd pleasers. That's why they're not announcing them. So you got Moxley and Jericho for the AEW World Championship.
That'll be good.
You got MJF versus Cody in a singles match.
Great build.
Dude, who's not anticipating that?
Yeah.
Unless you're like just a AEW hater. Like, if you are into wrestling, how do you not like that build? Oh, did you watch the the lashings?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I did like I love how they ended the Nightmare Collective angle. That was a shit show. And how Brandy came out, because it just made it more authentic. It did look pretty nasty. I mean, I was cringing when I watched it.
Yeah,
you know what? You know the sleeper match is gonna be Jake Hager and
Dustin.
That's gonna be a sleeper match.
I'm with you 100%. And then you have Omega and Paige versus the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah.
After the Bucks won the Battle Royal, and Kenny and Paige retained last Wednesday.
That's gonna be a good pay-per-view.
So you got 4 matches, which that's plenty. If you're gonna buy this, you can look at that and go like, yeah, that's it.
Do you think Moxley's gonna win the title, or is it too soon?
I haven't really gone over this because we don't go over AEW a lot, but I think they're almost making a mistake right now, making Jericho the top heel. I think Jericho's super over. I think the crowd wants to love him.
Yeah.
They sing his song every night.
Freaking song.
They want to love him. I think you should move MJF as your main heel. I think Jericho can be fringy. He doesn't have to be good or bad, but he can't be either all the time.
Yeah.
Cody's your babyface. And like, I would say it would be a mistake to change anything right now. Now, with that being said, yeah, I mean, I could see Moxley winning, but...
I could too, but then where do you go?
Right. Because the Moxley as Stone Cold thing ain't it.
I think they could do the Moxley... Then Moxley and Pac have a program.
Dude, they have so much talent, they can do anything.
Yeah.
They could tell me after this pay-per-view, we're going to do a tournament, and I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, they have so much talent. But the one thing I will say, the women's division still not hitting every week, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, what company has had a women's division that hits every week?
Right.
None. But it'd be nice to see a little less chaos. I was gonna bring up them dropping the Nightmare Collective and how refreshing it is to see that they write something for a month, it doesn't work, we just drop it. It's fine. We won't remember in 3 weeks that you dropped it.
Yeah.
But if you carried it over for 3 more weeks, ugh. Now, I'm very interested in what their plan was. I feel like their plan was to get that guy involved, the doctor, whatever, who's Jericho's best man in his wedding.
The thing is, I think it's more important. Cody's storyline is more important, where you have his wife out there when he's getting like freaking lashed in the back, and where Brandy was the heel and Cody's your ultimate babyface. It just didn't work or mesh.
Well, they kind of have a structure now too. I've noticed the past month it seems like you start off with a big match, then you have your women's match, then you have a promo, then you have whatever other match, then you have your women's promo, then you finish off with the 2 big matches. They've been doing that every week, and I just feel like they're at a point where it's like, look, we're going to give a woman a promo, and we're going to have one women's match every night. Mm-hmm. And although I wish they would throw the timing off, because I'm at a point now where after the first match, I know it's going to be a women's match. So if it's somebody I'm not into, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not watching.
Oh, wow, that's crazy that you kind of figured out the formula.
You pick up habits like that.
Yeah.
So now, like, they need to switch that up because that habit is working for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's others like me. I would assume there are. So I'm picking that habit up. So now's a good time for them to say, all right, now we have to switch something.
Right.
Maybe women go third and this match goes second.
Yeah.
It's just got to be switched up a little bit. But I don't know. If you haven't gave it a shot, I think it's worth your time.
Oh, I agree.
Now, if you're wrestled out by the end of the week, I get that too. I was just telling Ashley, I was like, I watch wrestling Sunday, Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and I didn't watch SmackDown all the way because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I was out of gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know when our next show will be. It will probably be, but I mean, of course, it will be the build for Mania. We'll have to get through Elimination Chamber first, right? And Fastlane, the worst pay-per-view of the year. I know. It really, it's always the worst.
It's like having to take a shit at Walmart.
But we should also, I think we might do like a WrestleMania wish list, because we don't know everything yet.
Build WrestleMania the way you would want it built.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know already.
Correct.
Like, we know we're getting the McIntyre and Brock.
So that will be our next episode.
Yeah, and if I get the AEW pay-per-view, I'll probably live tweet through on it.
Do it, for sure.
So, in closing, who do you have tonight? Former WWE superstar Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
I don't really care. I haven't been keeping up.
Logan Paul could beat both their asses, couldn't he?
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the A Show Podcast. We will reply to you. We reply to everyone.
If you're on YouTube, please subscribe.
Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast if you don't mind.
And add us to your top 8 on MySpace.
Stop saying that joke. You say it every week now.
You don't have a MySpace?
That doesn't... No.
You gotta get a MySpace. They're back, baby.